Hello students, welcome back to your English class. I hope you all did your half-yearlies well and are all set and geared for the next set of lessons. The chapter that we are going to do today is from your main reader. The name of the chapter, the title of the chapter is This is Jodi's Fawn. Take a look at this. You can see a doe, that is a female deer, and a fawn. Fawn is a baby deer. So this story is about a boy named Jodi, and how does he discover the fawn and why is it called Jodi's fawn? There are lots of important things that you'll learn from this lesson. Let's find out. Why will you read this lesson? Why do you need to read it? To develop sensitivity and compassion towards animals. Sometimes we are not compassionate enough. We see animals but we don't feel for them. And develop a sense of justice and fairness. How will Jodi be just? You'll learn in the chapter. One should always be just and fair and be ready to sacrifice for the right things. Now take a look at these pictures. Can you see these pictures? What do you see here? Look at the elephant. Here the elephant is free. But what is happening here? The elephant is captured. Here the elephant is free. Again captured. What do you think is right? What do you think humans should do? Should we capture the wild animals? Should we ill-treat them? Should we cause them pain? Should we put them in chains? Should we put them in zoos? Is that right? Think about it. I'll ask you when we discuss in the group if it is right or wrong. Let's know more about the author before we begin the chapter. The story we are going to read today, titled This is Jodi's Fawn, is about a boy and his feelings for an animal. The story has been taken from a novel called The Yearling. The author, Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings, was one of America's most loved writers. The setting, you all know you've done story writing, so the setting is the scene created around the story. The setting of the story is a remote, uncleared forest area in America in 1870s. The author has written about why people should live in harmony with nature. Before we begin, let's understand the deer family. You see, that's the male deer, the stag or the buck. That's what it's called. That's the female deer, which is known as the doe. And that's the fawn, which is the baby deer. Jodi allowed his thoughts to drift back to the fawn. He could not keep it out of his mind. Now Jodi has come back with his father. He was in the forest and they were out hunting. And now Jodi is constantly thinking about a fawn. In his dreams, he held the fawn in his arms. So Jodi goes to his father and he asks his father if his father was feeling okay. The father says, I just feel fine, son, and I gave death a close shave. What do you mean by a close shave? It was very near, very close, but he was saved somehow. The son says, sure it was, because he was around when his father was hurt. I'm proud of you, boy, the way you kept your head and did what was needed. Now what did Jodi do? Let's find out. Now Jodi, the father was hurt, and you all understand what remedies are? Home remedies are treatments that you do at home. For example, if you have cough, your grandmother would say take some haldi doodh or take some ginger and honey. These are all home remedies. So Jodi's father was bitten by a rattlesnake. Now rattlesnake is a very poisonous snake. So when they were in the jungle, they were bitten. The father was bitten by a rattlesnake. And they quickly killed a doe. Now doe is, as I told you, the female deer. And they took its heart and liver to draw out the poison. Now Jodi is concerned. Jodi does not know what happened to the little fawn. They killed the fawn's mother to save the father. So that was also essential. Jodi obviously wanted to save his father. So they killed the doe, and took the heart and the liver to draw out the poison. So the father is safe, but now Jodi cannot stop thinking about the fawn. He knows the fawn is without a mother now. And what does Jodi want to do? Jodi wants to go back and get that fawn home. So Jody takes permission from his father. He says, I cannot forget about them. I have to help the fawn. So what does the father says? He says, you are smarter than boys of your age. Why? Because Jody is being sympathetic. Jody has the feeling. Jody can understand the feeling of that lost little fawn without a mother. So now Jody goes to his mother and tells his mother that he wants to go after the fawn. The mother thinks it's a bad idea, but Jody is supported by his father. Now, Jody says the fawn belonged to the doe we killed. We used the doe's liver to draw out the poison and save Pa. Pa says it would be ungrateful to leave it to starve. So fawn is young. If the mother is not around, maybe the fawn will starve. So the father says it would be ungrateful. So you should get the fawn. Now, mother says, for pity's sake. What do you mean by for pity's sake? Don't do it. Like, for heaven's sake, don't do it. Now, there's another person sitting here. He says, that's right, ma'am. Nothing in this world comes quite free. The boy is right and his daddy's right. And he offers to go with the boy. Jody goes with Mr. Millwheel. Mr. Millwheel is the one who supports Jody, and he says that nothing in the world is free. So if he took the doe's life, then it is his responsibility to take care of the fawn. So both of them ride into the jungle. Jody remembers the exact spot where his father was bitten. They want to go there and find out where the fawn is. When they reach there, they cannot find the fawn. As they passed the abandoned clearing, Jody gave himself over to the thoughts of the fawn, and suddenly Jody was unwilling to have Millwheel with him. So Jody doesn't want to take Millwheel with him because Jody doesn't know how he will react when he sees the fawn. Maybe he'll get too emotional or too uneasy. So he wants to leave Millwheel aside. When they reach the clearing, they see that the body of the doe has been eaten by vultures, and there are other birds also surrounding the carcass. Now Jody is concerned. He thinks that maybe he'll not find the fawn after all. Maybe he's lost the fawn. So he parted the grass and he started looking for the fawn. But thankfully the fawn was there. The fawn was not right besides the mother because there were so many birds circling there, but the fawn was hidden in the bushes. The little fawn lifted its face to Jody's. It turned its head with a wide, wandering motion. Now Jody has picked up the fawn and he puts his arms around its body. A little convulsion passed over it, but it did not stir. So the fawn gave in. The fawn was also happy when Jody picked him in his arms. It was uneasy. It didn't know how to react, but it was happy to be in some comfort. Jody stroked its sides as gently as though the fawn was a china deer. What is a china deer? China is something made of porcelain. Like you have your crockery is made of china. So Jody is taking care of the deer as if it is made of china, and if he drops it or if it gets hurt, it's going to get broken. Its skin was very soft and it was sleek and clean. Now Jody is very happy to have found the fawn, and now he wants to take him home. Now Jody has carried the fawn for a while, and after a while he gets tired and he puts the fawn down because it cannot carry the fawn all the way. Finally Jody has arrived home and the fawn has come with it, but the fawn is also apprehensive. It's never been with human beings. Jody insists. Slowly the fawn follows him. He gets the fawn into the house and shows it to his father. The father says, I'm glad you found him, and your eyes are as bright as the fawn. That means both of them are happy to have each other. The fawn is happy to be with Jody, and Jody is happy to have found the fawn. He feels a little less guilty, you see. So when he had to sacrifice the fawn's mother for his father, now when he gets to take care of the fawn, he feels less guilty. Then Jody goes to the kitchen, picks up a pan of milk and pours it for the fawn to drink. But the fawn obviously is not used to drink from that bowl. So what does Jody do? Jody puts his fingers in the milk and slowly feeds the fawn, and slowly the fawn also picks up. The last of the milk vanishes in a swirl of foam and gurgling. That means the fawn was really starving and it was very happy to have received that milk. Don't you think Jody is a wonderful boy? A boy who did something when he needed to, but did acknowledge the sacrifice that the doe made for his father. So he reciprocated by taking care of the fawn. Had he not done that, he would have been guilty of being selfish. Now let's take a look at the difficult words that you might find. Dilated. Dilated is enlarged. When the pupils dilate, they are either by fear, or happiness. Both the emotions can cause dilation of the pupils. You can see the picture here. Keep your head staying calm in a situation. He kept his head even though the problem was big. So being calm. Acorn, these are the kind of nuts which are known as acorns. Sidled back, to walk backwards quietly. Drift away is to go back. And then every which way. Every which way means in all different directions. Okay. Then the second point that you need to learn, first is animal sensitivity and care. Second is understanding, being aware of home remedies. Okay, as I already discussed, and I would want you all to give me examples of home remedies when we discuss this chapter in the group. And also to know where there is cruelty against animals and be sensitive towards their welfare. Now, what all home remedies do you know? Find out home remedies for cuts and bruises, stomachache, diarrhea, vomiting, cold and cough. So that's your task for today. You will find out the home remedies that you have in your house for all these problems and you will let me know. You'll also write that in your notebook. Let's see the difficult questions related to part B of the chapter, second part of the chapter, makes a bearing. Makes a bearing means something that acts like a compass. I take this house as a bearing. That means when I am on this road, I realize that this is the point where I need to take a left. Okay. Buzzard. Buzzard is a large bird like a vulture which eats the flesh of dead animals. Then adjacent is next to, right next to something. Parted, something that has been divided into two from the middle. Okay. Then quivering is shaking. You see that the fawn was quivering. Then delirious is extremely excited. Jody was delirious to find the fawn. Convulsions is again shivering. China deer, as I already told you, made of clay, porcelain. Okay. Then sleek is smooth. Hoist, you always hoist a flag, that is pull it up higher. Light-headed is feeling dizzy and alarmed is feeling frightened. Now, the main purpose of this chapter. The chapter is quite easy to understand. You understand that Jody's father was hurt. Jody had to kill the doe and then he goes back to find the fawn because he feels guilty and he wants to make it up to the fawn by taking care of it because otherwise the fawn would die in the wild. The main purpose is that we understand the atrocities that we commit on animals. Is it okay to put them in cage? What kind of freedom do these animals need? They need freedom from cages. They need freedom to move around. They need freedom of being with their families. They need freedom from plastic. They need freedom from human interference. There are so many things that we do which are not right. We should not do it. And how do you help the animals? There are so many organizations. I am sure you must have heard about PETA at least. People for the ethical treatment of animals. Many cricketers, film stars, even Virat Kohli, they are all part of such organizations and they try to make animal life better. So you have many organizations. You can go online and search what you can do. What do you do for street animals? What can you do for the street dogs? In lockdown, you remember when people were inside their houses, there were stories about street dogs who could not find food to eat. So these kind of things, you should adopt animals and you should take care of them. So these are the things that we want to learn from this chapter. I hope you all understood Jody's fawn perfectly. Now it is called Jody's fawn because Jody loves it, takes care of it and adopts the fawn as his own. Therefore, this is Jody's fawn. I hope you all understood the chapter well. Even the difficult words, anything other than this, we'll discuss in the group. Thank you, children.